Commission is invited to brief the Council. It is also invited to brief the Council of the State, and the briefing for the Council of the State is going to take place on Friday the 10th, which will elaborate on the readiness of the Commission to conduct the elections. Kano State Governor Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has handed over the letter of appointment to the new Commissioner of the Ministry of Religious Affairs in Kano State, Dr. Nazifi Bichi. Ganduje tasked the new commissioner to carry out his duties without showing bias or evading the law during today's session of the Executive Council meeting, which held at the Kano State House Government. At the Kano State Government House.
We have sworn in a new commissioner, and he is posted to Ministry of Religious Affairs. He is from the Tijaniya sect. I congratulate him for that. But his responsibilities will also include other sects, and even those who cannot be fixed at a particular sect. That ministry has been sleeping for long. I hope he will wake things up so that we can ensure that we discharge responsibilities by that ministry.
Meanwhile, the state governor also awarded a young man named Faisal, who produced a tricycle with a prize of 5 million naira as a reward for developing his skills. Government House correspondent Abba Isa Muhammad reports that Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje also gave an 11-year-old primary school student, Saratu Garba, who is talented in mathematics, a prize of 2 million naira and sponsored her education at the school for gifted children in Kano. And on the sporting arena, Saudi Arabia billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud has promised to give Nigerian international Odion Igalo and other players of Saudi club Al Hilal 1 million Saudi Riyal each for reaching the club World Cup final. Mohamed San Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Saudi Arabia billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud also pledged 1 million Saudi Riyal to each player if they win the tournament. Al Hilal beat Flamingo in the semi-final to reach the final and will now face the winner from the Al Ahly of Egypt and Real Madrid in the final. In another update, Super Eagles striker and new Southampton signee Paul Onuachu believed his arrival will help the coach Nathan John's side from going down in the English Premiership. The Nigerian also admitted that his physical presence can help inspire Southampton after his dream move to the Premier League on transfer deadline day. Onuachu joined Southampton following 10 seasons in the Danish and Belgian First Division with 70 list goals in his last 92 appearances, while he finally earned his big move to the Premier League. Meanwhile, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is keen to leave Chelsea at the end of the 2022-2023 season, having fallen out of favour at the Stamford Bridge under manager Graham Potter. The former Arsenal striker, who joined Chelsea from Barcelona, has not featured regularly for Chelsea and was recently dropped from the Blues Champions League. The Gabonese star has been linked with a return to Barcelona and also MLS side of the United States. Similarly, former Schalke Oppo, Spartak Moscow, and the RB Leipzig boss Domenico Tedesco has been appointed. The 37-year-old, who was born in Italy but also holds German citizenship, has signed a contract until after the 2024 European Championship. Tedesco replaces Roberto Martinez, who stood down after 6 years in charge following Belgium group stage exit at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And on tennis, Argentinian wildcard Guido Pella won against Italian qualifier Andrea Vavosori 6-2 to reach the second round of the Cordoba Open. Guido Pella will now face the winner of the match between qualifier Hugo Delian and the Argentinian Pedro Cachin next. Muhammad Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradioNigeria.com, or call us through this number, 082444163. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has established the Hajj Institute of Nigeria to train and certify all employees in the Nigerian Hajj and Umrah sector. The coordinator for Hajj Institute of Nigeria, Al-Haji Aliyu Tanko, made the disclosure at the opening of the institute at Hajj House in Abuja. The chairman also said that the institute would provide an avenue for skills acquisition and entrepreneurship, development of youth, and be a reference point globally for Hajj and Umrah training.
Basically, the institute is starting with, because that is the area of its concern more, the issue of Hajj and Umrah administration. And inshallah, the courses that are going to be run are going to be open to those who are working at the state level and the tour operators and those who are related with the Hajj and Umrah affairs, inshallah. The second department is that of computer sciences. The computer science is very critical. The knowledge of computer is very critical, and as such, the commission, when requesting or when applying for the institute, also thought that it is necessary to have a department of computer sciences because of its importance.
The coordinator further noted that the establishment of the institute would improve the quality of manpower in the Hajj and Umrah sector and enable the country to be at par with global industry standards. Africa Check advises the people to be wary of fake news spread on social media, especially now that the 2023 general elections is about to begin. The manager community research of the center, Hauwa Adamu, revealed this today when the center paid a visit to Freedom Radio to strengthen its relationship. Hauwa Adamu added that it is the duty of people to avoid using and spreading any fake news that is not valid to avoid misinformation.
But then to check it out, you need to check official sources for whatever it is. You need to, sometimes even just checking on Google can go a long way, because when someone is talking about maybe a breaking news that something big has happened in Kano, and then you have not heard it anywhere, you have not seen any media organization reporting it, and you need to be very skeptical about it. And so sometimes just Googling give you an idea that this might not be correct. But then most times it's important to get down to the real data.
Hauwa also advised the community to carry out a thorough investigation on all other types of news that they get or see on their social media to find out its authenticity before dissemination to the general public. Correspondent Muhammad Abdulkarim Tukuntawa reports that the center urged the public to be vigilant in spreading fake news just a few days before the 2023 general elections. For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have a clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 14 degrees Celsius and later increase to 26 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light wind. Kaduna will experience a clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 16 degrees Celsius and later increase to 27 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light wind. Kaduna is expected to have a clear sky and gentle breeze at an average temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and later increase to 28 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light winds. Abuja is expected to have a clear sky and gentle breeze at an average temperature of 28 degrees Celsius and later increase to 33 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light winds. Lagos is expected to have a partly cloudy and light wind at an average temperature of 26 degrees Celsius and later increase to 29 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light winds. Moving to Niger Republic, Maradi is expected to have a clear sky and gentle breeze at an average temperature of 17 degrees Celsius and later increase to 30 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light wind, while Zindar is expected to have a clear sky and gentle breeze at an average temperature of 17 degrees Celsius and later change to 27 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light wind. Aisha Ahmad Iguda, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, the Ugandan government has refused to renew the mandate for the United Nations Human Rights Office, a decision condemned by campaign groups and the opposition. Zainab Tambarijiga reports.
The Foreign Ministry said the operation of the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR, should end as the service were no longer needed in a letter to the OHCHR, dated 3rd February, said the government was committed to the promotion and protection of human rights. The UN office was established in Uganda in 2006 with an initial mandate of monitoring human rights in conflict-affected areas in the north and northeast. Meanwhile, flights carrying aid from Iraq, Iran, Jordan, UAE, and Egypt are arriving in Syria. Bashar al-Assad government has requested help from the international community, including the European Union. Reports say that getting supplies into the fractured nation was already extremely difficult. Before the earthquake decimated communities in the northwest, the Assad regime, which controlled most of the country after 12 years of civil war, stood accused of preventing aid from reaching the last rebel-held stronghold in Idlib province prior to the week's disaster. The region where millions of displaced people live in poverty have been hardest hit by the earthquake. The EU Commission said it encouraged members to send medical supplies and food, but warned the Syrian government must not seek to divert it away from badly hit areas beyond its control. Zainab Tambarijiga, Freedom Radio.
And with this, we've come to the end of today's global news. But before we go, highlights of the major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has met with Godwin Emefiele, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, at the presidential villa behind closed doors.
News.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections, as well as March 11th governorship and state houses of assembly polls, will hold as scheduled. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has established the Hajj Institute of Nigeria to train and certify all employees in the Nigerian Hajj and Umrah sector. And on the foreign scene, the Ugandan government has refused to renew the mandate for the UN's Human Rights Office, a decision condemned by campaign groups and the opposition. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Have a wonderful evening.
This is Freedom Global News.